Welcome to Claire in Light. This episode, we are going to talk about the 24 hours clock. What is 24 hours clock? Over the past 10 years, I have been experiencing a lot of different kind of modality or energy method to actually cleanse, balance, or heal my energy. And it has taken me a long time to actually come to where I am now. Even now, walking in the forest and being able to stand on my feet whenever I started my any spiritual practices. It has been very, very long journey, and I'm so grateful for that. I am now come to the mature stage, I hope. And recently, I have just shared this method with one of my friends, and she asked, can I actually have the video? So without further procrastination, I'm hoping today I can complete this video recording and to share this method, this energy cleansing method with everyone. And hopefully you can enjoy it and practice that and also benefit from it for your daily life and your spiritual practice. So let's come to what is 24 hours clock. As we all know, the clock go 0 or 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. to 24 hours. That represents a day. And last year I discovered this method for myself because there are a lot of methods I have experienced and also practice. They work. However, I do want to something really simple and something I can also teach and share with my friends and family or even people who are experiencing any spiritual instability or energy instability. As we know, when you start actually practicing the meditation or any other spiritual practices, there are likely chances we would have our Kundalini awaken. And for some people, it might awaken gradually, that is stable and do not have any severe side effect. However, my own experience with my Kundalini awakening 10 years ago was actually a very abrupt process. And that has totally disturbed my normal life. Even walking properly and being able to stand on my feet, cooking food and going to shopping center, it was a really, really difficult and challenging time for me. And that go on for about 2 to 3 years, and luckily it's all stabilized now. And when I'm going back to study any of these spiritual practice, last year I start getting concerned. How am I going to be able to make sure my Kundalini awakening are gentle and not disrupting my life again like 10 years ago, which is not a pretty sight at all. So this download come up to me, which I do a lot of the creative writing or visualization, connect to my higher self or connect to the universe. So that's how 24 hours clock come to a simple and effective method to use every day or anytime when you feel like your energy is a bit off. What I mean by off is you feel like tired and somehow it's a fatigue. You cannot go into the places that probably have a lot of people. Or after talking to friends or talking to a stranger, your energy become so drained. And that is the way to actually practice this method I'm going to share with you. So when I'm doing this, I will first explain to you how this works. And second, you can follow me when I'm actually practicing it. And when you are actually doing this yourself, it is good to make sure you are not driving or not doing any heavy machinery work. And if you could find a space that is quieter and just by yourself, so you can practice this method without being disturbed. And usually it should take less than 5 minutes, but depends on how long or how much you actually need to cleanse. If this is first time you are doing it, I suggest give about 10 to 15 minutes to have a practice. Do not rush it through and be patient with the process and being aware what's going on, but there is no need to panic if you experience anything. Just being an observer, and that is 24 clock method, 24-hour clock method, and work its way through. And I suggest once you start, please do complete it. If you don't complete it, there is just like doing things halfway. You cannot do a shower halfway and still have all the shampoo bubble on and just walk out of the shower door. It doesn't work that way. So please, once you started, you do need to finish it. And I do intend to go on live. Maybe we can go into Zoom, and that is a software or online meeting room that I can do this live every week, weekly, with you, and to help you, and also actually help myself to make sure I have a weekly regular practice. And I do this whenever I need it, because sometimes I just unconsciously absorbing so much. When people are really sensitive, they're unconsciously taking on a lot of things that does not belong to us, and neither does it serve us. Not being able to have appropriate boundary or healthy boundary to actually being ourselves and being able to center our being, our soul, and being able to integrate our life force into a healthy and enriched journey. So here we are. I'm going to share with you this method, 24 hours clock. Okay. So if you could, you probably couldn't see me here on my feet. However, I suggest you do need to plant your feet flat on the ground. If you haven't done so, please do. And if you are wearing shoes, this not necessary to take off, but you might find it more comfortable if you can have your feet just on the ground. If you are wearing socks, that's also fine. Okay, good. So once you have your feet on the ground, that actually helps us to connect to the earth's energy. However, me being practicing this for a long time, I actually also prefer to have my feet crossed on the chair or where I'm sitting. But however, for this exercise, I will have my feet firmly planted on the ground. So feel that ground, feel that connection. Fantastic. And for people who hasn't actually have any contact or have any experience of spiritual practice, I would suggest it's always good to call on your guides or your mentor. We call it invisible spiritual teachers, mentor. But what I normally like to practice now for myself is actually just imagine there's a big sunlight or big sun just above my head. So slightly imagine that sun, a beautiful sun, and really warm, but not hot to a point you can't even touch your head. And having that beautiful sunlight, the warmth, be with you at all time when you are practicing this. Or having your spiritual teacher, so for some people maybe angel, or for some people might be a religious practice they have. So call upon what you believe and what your faith is. This practice has no religious restrictions at all. However, if you have any religious belief or faith, please do not force yourself to practice this. Just listen to it once and see whether this is something for you before you practice it and follow me with this method and this exercise. Okay, now you're ready. I can feel my the sun is actually just slightly touching my head. That feels good. And For this exercise, I would suggest when you're actually practicing it, please close your eyes. But for now, I will just explain how this works. So don't close your eyes yet. Have a look at how this actually being practiced. How we can use this method to cleanse our energy and heal the maybe even emotion or even the energy of our organs. So here we are. Recently, I have been practicing this very, very often, as you know, because of the coronavirus. And I start feeling like, oh wow, my energy is feeling really unsettled, and I'm so fearful. I'm picking up a lot of stuff, and some of them, of course, is mine. I'm getting panic, of course, because my family still all live in Taiwan and having the fear of not enough mask to protect everyone. And I do realize, okay, so to help me to stabilize, to calm my emotion is to actually cleanse and balance my energy again. So making sure all my chakras are balanced. But I will not take you to go to the chakra today. I just want you to experience this 24 hours clock method. Okay, we are ready. The zero from above, you can say the north or 12 o'clock direction. So first, I will close my eyes and then imagine the zero on top. And how I imagine this clock, how big is this clock? When you actually extend your hand, and for some people maybe 1 meter, depends. But however, you can see my height, the length of my hand. Hopefully you can see this in the camera. It will be more than your hand, and I suggest probably at least 1 meter above you and below you is how big the clock is. Okay, good. When you're ready, zero, and just let it breathe. Remember to breathe. A lot of time we forgot to breathe. We start holding on to our breath. That doesn't really help. So if you could, just gently breathe into your tummy, the navel area. And for Chinese, we call it dantian. So observe your breath, observe the movement internally. So I just have a release of this long breath. So for me, this is a sign of it's okay, is to move on to 1 o'clock direction, which is just in front of me. As you can see, I just take another deep breath out again. And as I said before, for the beginner, this could take much longer. So all you need to do is to just observe it, allow it to happen. Then 2 o'clock, 3, 4, 5, and just to give you a story, recently I've been doing this exercise. So even today, come to 5 o'clock direction, it's sort of taking a bit longer. So all I do is just take a note of it and don't need to panic. And there's no need to find out, oh, why 5 o'clock direction is taking so long. All you need to do is just continue this exercise. And maybe generate down when you complete, that's all you need to do. Okay, so now let's continue. 6, which is direct south, just below your feet. And remember, this is about 1 meter below your feet, minimum. And you might hear from some loud voice because I think my neighbor is cleaning his backyard. So we are also doing this, we have this synchronicity, isn't it? I'm cleaning the energy and he's cleaning his backyard. Okay, 7, just slightly behind you. 7 o'clock direction. 9, 10, this direction, and 11, 12. So when you come to 12, we come back to 0 again. At this time, we're going to count 13. However, it will be on the, if you are right hand, you can just start from right hand side. But I normally use the clockwise direction as well. So it's how you see the clock. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Once you complete this cleanse process, and you do feel it either emotionally or physically, or even just mentally, you know and intuitively it's already done. And for me, it has been very visual. So usually I will just get a mental image, tick, that is done. Once this 24-hour clock process is complete, the energy is clean and balanced, I usually just put a light bulb. I think a lot of the time you hear people talking about putting a bubble or imagining yourself in a light bulb or a glow. Most of the time I enjoy, I imagine I'm actually I do enjoy imagining myself in this light bulb. It's just like a earth, like a glow. And same, this will be at least 1 meter above me and below me in the globe size. And if you find 1 meter extended out away from you is too far, just come back. But at least the boundary should actually protect you more than where your hand, your feet can extend. And today my experience of my light bulb, the color is magenta, which I love very much. And a lot of time we see magenta color as the color of heart chakra or unconditional love as well. I know people say the color for heart chakra is green, but for a lot of time, for me, the pink magenta color usually is a bigger heart. It's a selfless heart. It's unconditional love. It's also about love to others and, of course, to yourself. Without knowing how to love yourself, I find it difficult to actually know how to love other people, of course. But we all have a different experience and the learning we have in life. So that's up to you to how you want to see it, what is your faith actually teaching you, or what your learning process is. So wonderful. As I mentioned, once you start, please do finish it. So what I mean by finish it, so now I can actually do feel like, yes, I have this beautiful light glow, the bubble actually guiding me and protecting me. And you might ask me a question, if we're all in one, why do we need a protection? Why do we need a boundaries? I think that is a very big question and also a very good question, which I will talk about in the next video. Otherwise, this video is going to be for a long time. So for this exercise, I suggest if you could follow me again, and this time you can close your eyes and leave your hand where it is comfortable on your lap. Or have palm facing up like this. And sometimes I do like to hold my hand in this way, just touching the thumb and having my hand above the left hand. But it's really up to you, whatever you feel comfortable. As I say, this method is meant to be simple, so do not restrict yourself so much. Only thing I'm asking you to do is making sure your feet, both your feet is firmly on the ground. When you are ready, close your eyes. And imagine there's a beautiful sun just above your head. You can count this mentally, silently. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And imagine, visualize, or actually feel you're inside this beautiful light ball or light globe. That you are illuminating beautiful light. You have very healthy boundaries. And you feel centered. And yes, congratulations. Now you know your energy is cleansed and balanced. So if in any process, any of the experience you have, you feel a bit ungrounded, my suggestion is to take a walk in the nature or go to the garden, just take a walk. Sometimes people do a bare feet, but even just having a walk in the garden itself, it take a big shift. Is already a big change. You will feel the differences. And normally, I don't really care how other people think. I'll go and hug trees in the park. The trees I particularly like are the oak trees in the Botanic Garden in Melbourne. And also there is a Central Park in Hawthorne. There's also a beautiful, tall, very feminine looking tree. That's the other one I like. But find a tree that you resonate with and give a tree a hug. Say hello if you feel like it. And I will do another episode and talk about how to center and how to ground, which the grounding is not a word I particularly like to actually use. However, how to center your energy is something I do have a lot of things. I have a lot of practices I can share with you, and that will be the next time. So in the meantime, do enjoy it. You might find I could be speaking, counting the clock too fast for you. And remember, I've done this many times already. So for me, that's my rhythm for today. However, when you switch off this video, I suggest give a try at your own space, at your own space, beautiful space, and at your own pace. And there's no rush. Just allow it to continue. Allow yourself to be aware, to observe, and there's no need to panic once again. If you find counting 13 to 24, you drift away very easily. That's also good. It's like we call it 1 p.m., 2 p.m. You can also do that 1 to 12 from this direction in front of you, come to the back and come back. and then 1 to 12 again, going clockwise, just facing you in this way. So hopefully that help the process. Hopefully you don't need to worry about counting to 24. Whatever works for you, the method is designed to be simple, easy to apply anytime except while you are driving. So now, hopefully you have a wonderful day when you're watching this in the morning, or have a good night's sleep if you're watching this at night, and have a beautiful weekend as today is a Saturday, or have a beautiful week if you're watching this on Monday. And thank you so much for watching this. I'm very grateful to have this gift to able to share this with you, and hopefully we can all create a beautiful, wonderful time for ourselves, and enjoy the freedom and enjoy the connection with the universe, and feel grateful for everything we have or going to have anytime. All right. Once again, thank you for watching this episode, and this is Claire. Bye, and see you next time.